Welcome. My name is Olumide and I recently just matched into orthopedic surgery as an IMG in Canada. If you missed that video, you can check it out somewhere on this screen. In this series, I'll be walking you through the CaRMS process from start to finish. We'll be going through examinations, timelines, resources, and all the pearls and nuggets I learned along the way. For the first video, we're going to be going over the CaRMS eligibility and preparation for the application. Let's get into it. What is CaRMS? CaRMS stands for the Canadian Residency Match Service. This is the definition straight from their website. CaRMS is a national, independent, non-for-profit, fee-for-service organization that provides a fair, objective, and transparent application and matching service for medical training throughout Canada. And this is the organization that's responsible for the medical residency training in Canada. You can visit their website at www.carms.ca. Their website is pretty nicely laid out with lots of useful information. On the website, you can find information about the algorithm, how many positions are available for each specialty, how many positions are available for IMGs, program descriptions, statistics of previous match years. So I'd suggest that you take some time and go through this website inside and out. Lots of useful information here. In order for you to be eligible for CaRMS, you need to be a med student or a graduate of an eligible medical school or osteopathic school. You can check the World Directory of Schools website, and all the links of the websites and resources that I mentioned during this video are going to be in the description. You also need to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. This is very important and a lot of people do not know this. So if you're a doctor in another country and you intend to come to Canada to practice medicine, you have to get your permanent residency first. Right, I almost forgot. Next, you have to have written and passed the Nascok exam. I'm going to talk about this exam in more detail later on in the video. You need to have written and passed the MCCQE1 exam. Again, I'll talk about this later on in the video. These four I mentioned are general eligibility criteria. Each province also has their own additional criteria. For example, I know for Alberta, you need to be a resident of Alberta. I'll link the website that has all the different provincial requirements in the description. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to discuss each provincial requirement in detail in another video. Now let's move on to the exam. First, the Nascok. The Nascok is an in-person exam where you're acting out different scenarios, acting as the doctor. You're taking the history, you're doing physical exam. This exam happens only twice a year, in May and in September. So you need to visit their website to make sure you plan ahead. You can take the exam up to 3 times, but not in back-to-back sessions. Your latest result is the one that's valid, and it's valid indefinitely, so it never expires. That means if you're not quite ready to put in your CaRMS application, you can write this exam just to get it out of the way. The exam is going to cost, wait for it, $3,050. I know it's very expensive, and the results take about 8 weeks to release. So then you also have to take that into account when you're looking at your dates and planning your timeline. Next exam is the MCCQE1. This one is a written exam, and for those who are familiar with the USMLEs, this exam is most similar to the step 2. So I'd advise, if you're taking your step 2, you should look to take the QE1 around the same time, since the material is very similar. In terms of timeline, the QE1 is offered at 4 different times during the year: January, February, April, May, September, October, and October, November. You can take the QE1 a maximum of 4 times, and if you pass, you can't take it again. You can only retake it if you fail. Once you pass, that score is your final score, and the results also never expire. Results also take about 8 weeks or so to be released. There are various resources you can use to prepare for these exams, both the Nascok and the MCCQE1. Most popular ones are UWorld, Canada Q Bank, and also the MCC website, which I'll link below, has some practice questions. These practice questions are quite expensive, but they're the closest you can get to the real exam. So if you can afford it, I would advise to invest in them. I forgot to let you know this. The MCC QE1 cost $1,375. I'm going to be talking about the exams in more detail and how I prepared, the resources I used, and what I advise in another video, so watch out for that. To register for these exams, you have to go onto a different website called physiciansapply.ca. This is the organization that verifies your documents and information to ensure you're eligible to take these exams. This is also where you go to apply for the exams and check your exam results. To create an account on Physician Apply, it costs $310. This brings us to the end of part 1 of this series. We've gone over what CaRMS stands for and how you can be eligible for CaRMS. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the application timeline and the key deadlines you need to be aware of and when you should be taking these exams for your own planning. I'll also be totaling all the costs that you should expect to incur if you plan on applying for CaRMS. All right, I'll see you in the next video.